Hello FlowStew, my name is Tamara, and in today's video I wanted to show you how many bunnies I stitched in April, because I started quite a lot of I want to stitch quite a lot, 6 projects with bunnies for, I don't know, Easter, because it's April, because it's spring. And also I will show you how they turned out. I mean, like, we stitched bunnies and projects with bunnies. And as well, I will show you which new projects I have for May, for next month. And the first bunny is ready. Yes, I started with Heart of Spring by Just Nan. A very easy, nice and quick project, because it's not complicated. It was stitched very quickly. According to the key, it has to be stitched on 30-second count blush linen from Weeks Dye Works. I stitched it on 30-second count, but this is baby pink, I don't remember how it's called, from Zweigart. Also, I just had this pink linen, and I decided not to buy extra. And so no specialty stitches here, just a little bit of back stitch and this little beads. And I made a change, so the heart, which has to be here, actually it has to be like this, you see. But I'm not sure, but I think that the quality of this heart is the same with the heart which was supposed to be in this design. This is a biscornu, which is a limited edition for silver needle. So this one also had a heart like that. I think it was exactly like that. And when I started attaching that one here, I remember that it started having scratches on it just from working with it. And I replaced with Margarita from Mill Hill, with a treasure. I replaced it, so I didn't use the heart. And now I decided, why not replacing the heart, and I replaced it with Mother of Pearl heart from SJ Designs. I just have these ones purchased in a bag and I looked at the size, and I think the size is almost, this one is a little bit larger and taller, I think, but a little bit, and I used it. And I thought that this heart goes very well with the beads which are here, you know. And the work was ready stitched. Speaking about finishing, here the preview recommends 2 finishing, so you can finish it in a frame or as a pin cushion. And I thought about the pin cushion because these ones are easy to stock for me. And I like this variant, how it's here. And if you read the instruction, it says that these are pins which are sewing pins, which are inserted here. They are not very, how they say, sure or secure, because they tend to get out. I know for sure, because I have a cube which has pins like on the sides, and those pins always, 2 cubes, even mini cubes, and those pins tend to go out all the time. That's why having pins here, it wasn't a good variant for me. It's just I went through I have a box with larger beads, you know, like not the usual Mill Hill beads which I use for projects, but larger beads which are leftovers from some projects. I remember that in some projects I used the, you know, like the large beads from Mill Hill, the pebble beads, or how they are called. And I was wondering, maybe I have a color of beads which would go here. Didn't find anything from Mill Hill, but found a bag with this pearl beads. I don't know when I bought them, what for I bought them, because the packet didn't have anything written on it. And I decided to take from those ones, and I just I attached them with YLI thread, the invisible thread. I attached each corner, kind of made bunny ears, you know. And I think it looks nice. So maybe it's not perfect, but it looks nice. I didn't stitch anything on this side, because if you want, you can take, for example, these little flowers and put them on corners. but I didn't want anything on the other side. I didn't want to spend time stitching on the back side. And this is how I finished this little pincushion, and the first bunny is ready. And the next finished design, this is just Nan again. It's tiny bunny biscornu. This is the first tiny biscornu I'm stitching, because I'm stitching all the seasonal, I'm stitching all of them each in its season kind of, and this is the third, so I have one more for summer and that's it. I am finishing this series. Generally speaking, I like the idea of taking Nan's seasonal series and stitching a series during a year, every season. So this is what it should be, and this is what I have. Yeah, it's tiny. It wasn't a lie when it was said here that it's tiny biscornu. So there are like, here is daffodils on this side, and 4 bunny faces, and it was said in the key, in the instructions, that if you want, you can make the whiskers 3D, and it's going to be fun. It's the same here. The same is made here. I decided to make the same because it's going to be fun. I made these whiskers from pearl thread. It's P50 pearl thread number 8 from DMC 5200, the color, because 5200 it was used for bunnies. That's why I chose the same color of thread for their whiskers. And on the other side there are like 4 dancing bunnies, tiny but very, very nice. And some, I suppose it's tulips or maybe other pink flowers, I don't know. See? And the bead, the 2 beads which come in the middle. And already the beads which were used. By the way, this is the third design from this series, and all of them, they are pretty complicated. So for such a tiny design, it's quite a lot of stitching, quite a lot of beads, I would say, and quite a lot of change of colors. Because here the beads are the Petit's pearl and the lilac frosted ones, you see, and they are a lot, because the leftovers, by the way, it's here. And not so many leftovers, because when I was attaching the lilac, this frosted lilac beads, I was already thinking that it won't be enough, because they go like, you know, like every corner 3 by 3, for example, 3, 3, 3, 3, you see, a lot of them. So yes, it's a pretty complicated, I would say, design. And the ribbon, which was in the set, so they recommend to have it like here, but again, they recommend to attach it with pins. I attached it with YLI invisible thread, because I know for sure that this one won't go away. So when the design will go away, the ribbon will go away with it. So I attached it with YLI thread. The only thing which I didn't, and I did with the previous ones, when attaching, I attached with a bead, like a little bit here, but here I just used YLI thread, and I'm thinking now maybe I'll use YLI thread. I'll add beads as well here, because it seems to me that with beads it's going to look nicer, this attachment. But it's not bad, I would say. And yes, such a tiny design is ready, and I would say that I have 8 more bunnies for the month of April. Why 8? Because like there are 4 here and 4 here, so it's like 1 and 8. I already have 9 bunnies, and I am ready to present you the Lady Scarlet's scissor roll, my first scissor roll, I mean. Yes, so I have the scissors, which is rabbit. They are by Premax, by the way. They are pretty new. I used them just several times, but I like them, by the way. They're good quality. And here is how my roll looks like. I mean, like the one which is already done. So, and let me open it and show you actually what do I have. So this is the stitched part. Actually, this is Lady Scarlet. This one was an exclusive for Silver Needle, by the way. It's a design of 2012, as far as I found it. It was stitched from scratch by me because honestly, I have never seen this one being sold, because sometimes there are things which I see being sold for $350, but this one I haven't seen being sold. And I admit that I found the chart on internet, and I decided to I decided to give it a try and stitch it by myself from scratch, as I used to say, because the materials which were requested for this one, they were not how do I say, hard to find. So the fabric which is recommended for this design is 32nd count limestone, Belfast from Zweigart. I haven't found it like being sold now, meaning that probably it was a design. Probably it was a fabric. It is a fabric which is out of print. I used instead with what I had in my stash, so I would use the Belfast by Zweigart with the code 6047. I don't know exactly how the color is called, but if you have the code, for sure you find this color. And it requires threads by DMC. Look how many. Yes, I have a plate full of threads. It's 26 shades you need, by the way. And one more gentle art, which is called Tea Rose. So out of 5 yards which are here, I used 2, because like there are like 5 pieces, 5 cuts, yes, each of them a yard, and I used 2 of them. I still have 3, and this one is used only to stitch this frame, so you don't use inside in all these things inside this DMC, so you use only here. It can be replaced by a DMC, but the thing is that it doesn't have the exact counterpart in DMC. And I think this is why Nan is choosing these gentle arts for her designs, because she cannot find this shade, or Wigs That Works, because she cannot find these shades in DMC. The closest it would be 3688, but it's not the same, you see. I tried to find a replacement, meaning like not to buy Tea Rose, but this one is different, so it's your choice. You can use a pink because anyway it's the frame, or you can choose the design, the fabric, which is the thread which is recommended by the key. And this is Lady Scarlet's journey. This roll shows Lady Scarlet's journey. You know that Lady Scarlet is the famous Lady Bug from Just Nan's designs. I have a Lady Scarlet like this, stitched a couple of years ago, which makes me very happy, I would say. Oops, this one is 2 sides, you see. I love this one. Honestly, I love this one. I love. And what else? Here, by the way, on this design, there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ladybugs. 8 ladybugs. So actually here, because this is the part which is seen when the roll is rolled. So it's 5 scenes, which starts with early spring and the robin, some tulips, some flowers. Then it comes the second one, which is a rabbit, which went out. It's late spring, it says here. A rabbit which went out to steal some good vegetables from somebody's garden, a butterfly. Now it's the summer, so a frog, a grasshopper, a turtle. Next one, of course, so according to the subject, you already can see this one. You can see that it's the autumn, because there are some grapes, some spiders. a squirrel on a pumpkin, and here, as you can see, there are like ghost eyes. And the squirrel, I don't know if you can notice, but that one is stitched in petits. Yes. And the last scene, this is winter, and there is the Christmas tree, some snowflakes, a cardinal, and again a ladybug. And here the story finishes. The trip of Scarlet finishes. And then the part which is rolled and you cannot see. So there are some flowers here. Again, by the way, these two ladybugs and this birdie, they are stitched in petits as well. And the back stitch also is one by one, or how to call it. Also, it's a lot of things. It's around, and it says around the corner, beyond the bird. Park your scissors at journey's end. And here again, it's the ladybug's colors. It's black and red, and it's, you can write here. You can put your year and the initials. In the example, they were like the name and the surname. I just used the initial of my name, and that's it. So this is how it looks like. And already I attached the 2mm white pearls. These are the only beads which are requested here. So I like 10 here on the top and 5 here on the bottom. So you need 15. And the ladybug bead. This is a bead. And already I attached the snaps here and here so that I would be able to snap it. If we look on the other side is not a part I am proud of. It's my first one, by the way. It's the first roll. I wouldn't say that putting this one together it was an easy part, by the way. So I ironed the this how do I say, extra fabric inside, and I cut the wool, and I sticked them together with the I don't know how it's called, that one, you know, it's not interface, I think it's the kind of glue. Okay, let's call it interface, but the one which glues together two fabrics. So that one you cannot use without two fabrics. So you have to put a fabric, you have to put a piece of fabric, you have to put that interface, and again other part of fabric. And when you are ironing it, they are sticking together, you see. So I used that thing. I wouldn't say that it was an easy thing, like arranging everything and going like that. But I did it, and I just left this one like in the end to roll and to stitch here the pocket for the scissors. And when I attached that one here, the edges, they were not how do I say, exact, and with a scissor I was kind of trimming where they were out of this thing, and trimming them. Suddenly the doorbell rang. It was silence in the house. That's why it was the the effect of unexpected. And I just kind of made like this, and I got a little bit more here, but I didn't like replace this thing. I didn't take it out because I was afraid that I would ruin everything. So yes, here I have kind of, yeah, what I received, because it was the it was a delivery for me. What I received, it was nice. I'll probably show you later. But yes, I have such a thing. Okay, I was, the thing which calmed me down, it was the fact that this is inside, this is not seen. The part which is seen is this one, and here I'm happy how this one looks like, but nevertheless I have this one. Generally speaking, I am not good at finishing all these things. I mean, I cannot do them accurately as I think and I imagine myself that they should be done. And here at this point you may ask me, and why are you doing them if you are not good at them? And I would tell you that insanely I love these things. So I adore stitching them, and I adore having them in in my already stitched stash, you see. So they are a great joy for me. That's why I am trying as well as I can to finish them. That's why I honestly admit that I am not good, I'm not perfect at finishing them, but nevertheless I'm trying. So you saw my imperfect. So here is the pocket for the scissor, and when you are like rolling it like this, like this, like this, it has to come to the snap. You snap it, and it should be like this. You see? This is the 5 seams which can be seen. And when you want to insert I didn't here, according to the key, you can put pins, you know, like sewing pins. I didn't do it because I don't like this variant. I would better use, for example, this kind of pins from Just Nan, you know, like these ones. They look very nice. So whenever I will decide to go for pins, I can go with these pins. And I would say that my first scissor roll is ready, and this makes me very, very happy. And I wanted to show you what delivery I got. Why I messed my scissor roll? Because I got packet, parcel with Cohana items. Yes, you probably remember from one of my previous videos where I showed what I have purchased from Cohana. So it was this scissors, the Sakura collection. They made a limited reprint, or how to call it, this spring, and I just found them in stock and I purchased them because Cohana scissors, they were on my wish list, so I have always wanted to buy at least one pair and see how they work. One pair, I mean like this one, the big pair, because I have a tiny Cohana. Here it is, I have a tiny Cohana. I found these ones, I bought them, and I just didn't want to limit myself just to the scissors because I purchased some pins, glass pins, pink, because everything was from the pink collection, and such a pin cushion, which is extremely nice and very tiny. And I told even in the video that I hope that I won't get I won't become addict with this brand. And nevertheless, I couldn't resist, and I purchased something else and something more. Generally speaking, before purchasing this pink Sakura scissors, I had just these ones. They were also from a limited edition Christmas one, I think, a couple of years or maybe even more ago, because you see this one is kind of cream white. I purchased them, but I haven't used them because, as you see, they are in their the original box. Every time I'm telling myself that I should take them out and try to use them to see how they are, but don't get to use them, you see. And when the big Cohana started to be popular, I mean like these ones, I always wanted the one like this, and now I managed to buy the Sakura one. And actually, this purchase was made because of these ones. Yes, another pair of scissors, the red one. In a second I'll open and you'll see. And of course I wanted something more to fill in the pink collection of Sakura. So they are not from Sakura collection, but I wanted to fill the pink collection. And here they are. I like very much this shade of red, this bright red. They are the same, it's just a different color, and the tassel is a little bit different because this one is golden pink and this one is golden silver. I mean, like the color of this little tassel. Here it is. Nice, really, really nice. And yes, I'm going to use them because I am usually using my scissors. Here it is. And this is what else I have bought. So I purchased several things which I chose also to be in pink, so that I would kind of fill in the collection of you know, like pink pin cushion, the pink pins which I already had, and the pink scissors which I have. So I hope that I won't start buying all these things in other colors of scissors. At least so far I don't intend to buy anything in red, because some of them come in kind of red pink. I don't know how to call it. Okay, so what I have chose else. So I have such a thing. This is I don't know how it's called. So where you used to put the thread. So this is an imitation. This one is made from stone. It's very heavy, I would say, for its size, and it's a thing which can be used for putting needles and putting pins, because I purchased 3 more pins like this, you see, and they are, you see, they are coming in magnet here, so they are like that. I also bought a needle threader from the same collection as the pins, as you can see, tiny little needle threader. Then I have a needle, this is a needle minder, a button needle minder. Then I have a measuring tape like this, you see, and like this, and it goes like this. Yeah, so the color is also pink, so everywhere I chose pink. Then I was curious to see how the needles from Cohana look like and how they feel in work. Here are two sizes, I think, and I purchased the set. I'm curious because I have used the you know, tulip needles. They are nice, but I still think they are too expensive. And this also are not cheap, but I just wanted to try them, and I chose such a set. So here are not the this one is made of paper, this is hard paper. These are not stitching needles, they are sewing needles, but I need this when I'm finishing different things, you know, because I'm doing them by hand. And these ones are going to be useful for me. That's why I decided to buy such a set as well. And honestly, I thought this one is kind of plastic, something else, but no. So in time, this one, anyway, it will go away. I mean, but it wasn't expensive, this one. So this would be the Cohana goodies, which I purchased for my accessory collection which I usually use. And it's time to start the shepherd's bush projects, and I want to open them and see what's inside. I'm extremely curious to see what's inside this one, because rolls I already like stitched, but bags, street bags, no. So I'm curious to see what's inside. this is what we have here. We have the preview, and the preview, by the way, it's not a photo. It's the first time I don't find the photo as a preview. For me, it doesn't make any difference, so it doesn't matter that if it's a photo or not a photo. But I suppose that this one was, the kit was put together recently, because I think the older ones have photos. It's a design of 2000, the year 2000. That's why it has all the rights in the world to be not a photo. Okay, the linen. The linen is not Zweigart, it's stiffer, so I suppose it's Permin, and it says it's the color buttermilk. It's yellowish, you see. And then I have the threads. The threads usually come DMC in this kit. Then there are 2 ribbons. This one with dots, it's really nice. And the embellishment pack, which is made from Mill Hill beads. All of them are frosted as far as I can see. And there are like 3 charms. There is an Easter egg, there is a little bee, and there is a Mr. Bunny, which is quite nice, I think. And 2 needles, the beading needle and the thread needle. And this is what I have here. And if you're curious to see, I can show you what was in the egg roll, Easter egg roll. And here the preview, and this is what I was talking about. You see, it's a photo, but again, I will say that it doesn't bother me. So this is how it looks like. I adore the background of the previews of from Shepherd's Bush and Jasna. They are extremely nice, extremely nice. The linen, such a desert rose color. Yeah, it's small, and don't forget that if you are doing things like this, trim and freight check, use freight check here, because so that it wouldn't go far, because the fabric is exactly what you need. Then it's the this one, and this one, by the way, it's exactly as the preview, because there are cases when it's not exactly as the preview, but here it's as the preview. The threads, which are also DMC threads, ribbon, a very long one, by the way, not wide but long. And the embellishment pack. The embellishment pack is again Mill Hill frosted beads, 2 kinds, 2 colors, the 2 needles, and a basket full of eggs, Easter eggs, I suppose. And that's it. So I will organize myself into box, as I used to put everything in boxes, and I'll start. Of course, I'll start one and then the other. The first one for sure is going to be the treat bag, because I haven't done any so far, and I'm curious to see how this one is going to turn out. So I think the next you'll see is going to be the ready finished designs, because they are small, they're not complicated. And finally, I am filming the end of the second part of this video, because what you have seen so far, it was filmed in the beginning of April. Since then I didn't have time to film, because it was like Easter holidays, when I had to organize a birthday for my son. So finally, hopefully, happily, everything is behind me, and now I have time to show you what else I have stitched from my April projects, bunny April projects. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you that the rest of them had been stitched until Easter, so I finished them until Easter. Like stitching them, finishing them. I got a little bit tired, but I was happy that I managed to have them until Easter. Didn't have time to film, and now I took them and I'm ready to show them to you. So from Shepherd's Bush, I stitched the treat bag. This is my first treat bag by Shepherd's Bush. I liked it. I have 2 more in my stash. I have the Christmas one and the Halloween one. And from this series, there are 2 more. There is a winter one with a snowman, and there is a, I would say, Saint Valentine's one, because it's with hearts and love and it's pink. And I decided buying those 2 as well, so that I would have all the 5 of them from this series. I just was waiting to stitch and to finish at least one to see if I like it, and then decide if I want to buy the other 2 or no. And yes, I like them. Okay, so the stitching was really super easy. I stitched this one during one day because it's 28th count. I had even the feeling that the count is even bigger than 28. So it's written Easter Joy. There is a tulip. There are 2 bees. What else? There is a chick, 2 eggs, and these are candies. Not candies, how they are called? Bean candies. Don't remember. And kind of, I don't know, grass and flowers here. And there is also a tiny charm, bee, and beads, like the pink beads and this blue nice beads. So really, really nice. I stitched it really quickly. I followed the instructions because I didn't have one like this before, and they were saying like to choose the down part of the fabric, to choose to measure the center and leave here 2 inches, which I left, and to stitch the to do the stitching. When I finished it already, I still think it's too much left here. So for the next one, I won't leave so much, because why do I say this? Because when you are counting already to go and to do the upper part, the stitching is at the edge, and I don't like the stitching being here at the edge. You see, I would like stitching to be at least, I don't know, 3/4 inch like lower, so that it would look nicer. So I would prefer it like starting from here. I don't know, at least this is my personal feeling. The upper part of it was done exactly as the rolls are done. So you are counting the threads, you're pulling them out, you're doing the hem stitch, and you're turning this one inside, like making the edge of it. But what was interesting is that, I don't know why I thought that when you have, you have a fabric, you are like folding it in 2, and you're doing the stitch, and you are like attaching the fabric or sewing together the fabric like here. But as you see, it's not here and it's not here. Actually, it's here. You see, so you are doing like in the back part. I did here the how do I say? Put it together also with biscornu stitch. Although it wasn't sad, but I prefer to do it because the last 2 rolls I did with biscornu stitch, and I like how it looks like. And already when I did the final stitch, when I attached it here, I decided to do the how it's called, invisible not invisible stitch, when you are attaching the things and the stitch is not seen, the sewing is not seen. But take into account that this one was pretty how they say, stiff. I don't like how it turned here as much. I have space here, and I'm even thinking of like turning it like inside out and doing like a stitch here inside and then turning it out, and in such a way it's going to be shorter, but I will have here like even less space as I wanted to. The ribbons, I was thinking that this one is going to be the one which is going just to be made in a pretty ribbon, and this one is going to be like, like put into the fabric. But now this one goes into the fabric. You see, this, not both of them go, just one goes here into the fabric, and the other one is just like on the outside. And the one which is not so wide is used to attach the charms which were here. So it's an egg charm, and there is a Mr. Bunny charm. So it was said like to attach them and make a knot here so that they wouldn't fall. I hope I did it like nicely, and like already arrange them as you prefer, as you want, so that they would look nice. it's a treat bag, actually, so it is supposed that you should fill it in with Easter treats. In my case, it's not filled with Easter treats, it's just with the simple filling which we use for everything. So far I'm not ready to use this one for treats, for candies. That's why this one is going to be just for a beautiful Easter display. So now I'm not going to do anything with it. I mean, like changing it. Next year, next Easter, when I'm going to take it out for display, I will think about changing. Because I noticed that in my case, sometimes when I have some doubts or I make some decisions about changing something, it is better to leave some time to pass, because variant number one, sometimes I exaggerate, so the thing does look good and I exaggerate, and I don't want to do this work twice. That's why when I pull it out after, I don't know, almost a year, I say, this one looks perfect, why did I want to change it? Or I can, variant two, I can think about something else, not what I wanted to change. Or variant 3, indeed, I have to change this because yes, I was right that this doesn't look good. So far this one stays like this. And I like the treat bags. Then also from Shepherd's Bush, I stitched the Easter egg roll, this one. This one is pretty nice, more complicated than the previous one I stitched, but it's nice. So it's such a pink fabric. Here I already felt that it was more complicated than the previous one because it has the specialty stitches, it has a lot of back stitch, things like this. So first of all, if you see, there are like 3 bunnies here, so they are made like by back stitch, and the eye come with a French knot. Then the eggs, oh my god, the carrots which are here, like the carrots in between, the carrots are cross stitch, and there is even 3/4 stitches, and the green thing is back stitch. Here also it was a nice specialty stitch. So first with one color you do like kind of crosses, and then you are doing this filling and already beads, and then there are like 3 beautiful eggs here, if you can see. So not so many stitches. This one comes with hearts, not so many stitches, but again, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. And Happy Egg Day also comes as a back stitch, everything. But it's an easy one comparing to the back stitch I had to do on the roll. I mean, like the petite back stitch, this one is really easy. Then here it was just a simple crosses. Then also this specialty stitch. I am not sure if I did this one correctly, because I couldn't understand for sure that what they meant in the instructions, and I tried to do my best. I looked at the preview and looked at what I could do, and I think it's okay. This one is okay, and it looks like on the preview. Then there is a row of 5 tulips. What is nice about these tulips is the fact that they are different colors. This one is peach, yellow, blue, pink, and purple. Nice. Then it's the lace which is attached here, and also what I liked about this one is that in the lace it was said, so where is this bouquet, to attach a pink bead, where is this 3 like things to attach a yellow one here. You see, if you can see, there are like beads attached on the this one as well. Nice, really nice. And the last one here, so there are some eggs, probably for the Easter egg hunt. So colorful eggs. There are some flowers, I mean like backstitch, and then beads. And here are a lot of eggs, and the charm. It's a basket with eggs, uncolored charm. And then there is satin stitch, which comes the grass, I think. And this is how the hem stitch looks like. And I used the same color which was used here in the hem stitch to put it together through biscornu stitch. So I started doing it with the previous one, and I really like how it looks with this biscornu stitch, and I'm using it. This time in this one I had like in length, I mean like in, how to say, in height, I had very little fabric. so you remember from those who watched the video where I explain how I put together such rolls, that I don't cut anything. Absolutely, the first thing I'm taking it out of the pack, I am doing the fray check, so that it wouldn't go far. So I did everything according to the key, and when I got here at these edges, you know that you have to fold once, then fold the second time, and then like with the hem stitch to have this one together as it was made here, you see. So here, when I got to this one, I didn't have enough fabric to go it like twice. I got just once. This fabric was worked out with fray check, so it wasn't going anywhere, and very, very attentively I already like tried to put it together, so everything is stable, how they say. But I just wanted to tell you that I had the situation that I didn't have enough fabric to go like twice, like do the turning here to put it together. And the ribbon. I already like make the bow here in front, because the first ones I used to make, it was like here in the back. Now I'm making it in the front. Nevertheless, it looks nice in the back, in the front. It looks like nice, both of them. So these were the two shepherd's bush I stitched, and the last one. This is the bunny from Mill Hill Spring Bouquet series. This one, the exceptional bunny. This one was a very easy stitch. Generally speaking, taking into account that I have 3 from Hobbycraft, which I purchased this spring. I have space to hang a lot of these things, because these small things by Mill Hill, I like them a lot, but so far I didn't have a display for them. Now I realize that I have display, and I decided that seasonally, first of all, I'm going to pull from my stash everything I have, but I don't have many of these ones. I'm going to take everything what I have to stitch the small things, and little by little I will start ordering the ones which I like, because there are some which I like, especially the autumn and Halloween ones. There are a lot which I like, and I haven't purchased them so far, but now I am going to do this thing. So the exceptional bunny, it was a very easy stitch, by the way. Usually I don't stitch so quickly these small things by Mill Hill, but here it was an exceptionally easy stitch. I started with the bottom part, and the first hours it was like kind of struggle, because here is a mess of stitches. First of all, when you stitch with floss, and then you have to be careful and leave space for the beads, because there are a lot of beads which represent the flowers. But in the moment I got to the bunny and to the egg, it was 2 hours, I think, and I finished everything. Then I attached the beads. So, and also it was a quick work, because there aren't many petites, so it's only one color. It's purple, and it comes like here, and a little bit in flowers here, because petite usually is attached in cross stitch, and this one takes time when you do. But the big beads, they're being attached quicker. And the flower treasure, which was here, I usually glue felt on the other side. I remember once somebody else asked me how do I cut it in such a way. I take the felt part like larger, I glue it under something which is heavy for overnight. Usually for me this is the perfect variant, to glue, put glue and leave it overnight. In such a way I'm sure that it's dry. Then I take it out. So I leave it to dry when it's underneath something heavy. Yeah, and when I take it out, I already use a sharp scissor, and I use to cut everything very, very nicely. The paper, the perforated paper is already cut. I don't cut them together because it's going to be crazy. I'm just cutting the felt, and I'm trying to do my best. Of course, it's not the best of the best, but I'm trying to do my best. And the ribbon I used here, it's a ribbon which was initially attached to a home book by Just Nan, but I don't want that home book to have such a ribbon, because it won't be attached on anything, and I decided to use it here because I thought it looks nice. So in such a way I have such a quick finish and such a such an exceptional bunny. And if I take these two out of your sight like this would be the bunny projects of April. There are 6. I would say it's not bad, honestly. Let me boast. It's not bad, take into account that I stitched them pretty quick and I finished them all. So this is good on me, how they say. So I was a good girl and good stitcher and I did it. If I would speak about the difficulty of this designs, I would say that still the roll was the most difficult one in stitching and in finishing. I don't know, maybe because it was my first roll, or maybe because it was quite a lot of stitch and the petites and everything, but it took time so to do this one. Second, it was this one. How strange it may sound, it was this one. Because again, it's a little thing, but it was quite a lot of stitch, and then the finishing, and when you are finishing such a tiny design also, it's not easy actually. And then the third, it would be the roll, because it was quite a lot of back stitch, again, like the finishing. The 3 which went quickest at all, it was like this 3, like the pin cushion, the mill heel bunny, and the treat bag. So easy to stitch, easy to finish. I kind of don't even remember when it happened, and they were when I stitched them, when I finished them, because I already had them as ready projects. I liked stitching bunnies in April. It was nice, and I'm thinking that next year I still have projects with bunnies. I mean, like from just now for sure I have. So I thought that next year maybe I will stitch not so many, of course not so many, but at least one project with bunnies in April, because bunny April it was nice. And after finishing the bunny projects, I need new small projects because I cannot live without them. After March pink thematic starts, thematic projects of March, when I had pink projects, April the bunny projects, I thought that May for sure isn't going to be something thematic. You know, it's going to be like I'll stitch whatever I want to. Whatever I want to means that I remember that I have projects which I stitch each season. For example, this little small biscornuous, this is the 3rd one, and I have the 4th, which is going to be stitched in summer. So I have 2 parallel projects where I stitch each season. It's this small biscornuous, and this is the trace by Shepherd's Bush. So far I have 2. I have the Halloween one and I have the Christmas one, which was stitched, I think, so long time ago. When I think about December, I think it was such a long time ago. And I have 2 more. I have this one with bees, busy bees, and I have the one with there is a ship here, I remember for sure. I didn't know which one to choose because I couldn't say which one is more springy and more summer. But then I remembered that May kind of reminds me bees. When bees start, you know, like there are a lot of flowers, bees start like flying everywhere, gathering honey. And I thought, no, May for sure is going to be with this one, with the busy bees. So I had my project already decided. It's going to be this one, the tray and the busy bees. Then I said that I'm going to look through my mill heel small projects like this, and I'm going to stitch whatever I have seasonally and finish them so that they would hang on my tree. Looked through what I had, and what do you think I found? From the okay, this is autumn harvest collection, but this is the honey pot. So I'm not going to stitch it in autumn. This is going to be my bee project of May. And having the busy bees and having the honey pot, what do you think? Yes, of course, I have a theme already for May. This is going to be the busy bee May, or honey It's a honeyful May. It's going to be a honeyful May, let's say so. So I got crazy when I realized that I have already a theme. I went through my designs, and I had the how they say, good judgment not to go too far. So besides this two is going to be two more, and that's it. Yeah, can you imagine? So this is going to be again a roll. So it's going by Shepherd's Bush. It's going to be the beehive roll. I have been liking this one for a long time, and now I have the opportunity to stitch it and finish it. So it's going to be the beehive roll. And the next one is a design which I also wanted to stitch, and it was now the good opportunity. This is Dimensions. This is a front door bow from Debbie Moms, the designer. I have two bows like this, two kits. Unfortunately, they are out of production. This one I bought it even open. Everything is there inside, but you have to look for them. I like very much two of them. I like this one with the bears, teddies, and honey. And I have already bought it. It's with a scarecrow. It's autumn one. I wanted to stitch first of all one which is part of a kit, so that I would see how do I have to place the stitching, how do I have to like finish it, and if I will like the process and I will like how this one looks already finished, I want to stitch at least two more. I mean, besides this one and the scarecrow autumn one which I have, I want to stitch at least two more, at least. But I wanted to do them with the how they say, not having a kit, because I have by Stony Creek I have a booklet with a lot, which is the designs in it are only the bow designs. Also I thought about like taking the small things from the books I have by French designers Veronica Janger, Hélène Lebert, and making having these designs, small designs, and making thematic bows, you know, like buying only the because Band Aida is sold, and buying only Band Aida and having them. So yes, I'm going to stitch this one to see how this one is going to turn in the end, and I'll decide if I'll have more. I don't know how quick I'm going to do this one, because about the rest of them, the three of these ones, I'm sure that I'm going to do them pretty quick, but about this one I'm not sure. That's why I decided not to rush a lot and take more designs into like more projects, so that I would finish these ones. I don't have any just nan, but you know that there is a new release, the new mouse on a tin. So for sure I'm going to buy that mouse, and I'm going to stitch this one, and it's going to be May. So yeah, I'll have an N for sure. So because I cannot, if I'm not going to stitch that mouse, I'll find something, but for sure I'll stitch a little Nan, because I cannot live without those designs. So yes, these were the bunnies which were stitched in April, and these are the new projects which I want to start, and which hopefully I'll finish in the end of May. But of course you will see this if you are going to watch my next videos. But until then, bye bye.